Ahoy, landlubbers! It's me, once again, your valiant Captain Vasco, and we're here for a very special occasion. We're going to play Syberia 3. Now, I know that's slightly awkward because I've never recorded myself playing Syberia 1 or 2, but it really didn't occur to me to do so because the first one came out in 2002, and the second one was like somewhere between 5 and 10 years later, I think. I think it was closer to 5. I don't remember. I probably should have looked that up if I was going to talk about it. But basically, both those games are kind of old, and my computer hates running anything, even something designed to run on it. And, you know, I like to keep it going for the purpose of doing this. So, yeah, Syberia, the original, is like, at the time it came out at least, it was like a really highly regarded adventure game. That just, it has this really quirky, unique, like, world to it, where, I guess I'll get into it a little bit in the recap, but basically, like, it's an adventure game, which already sort of makes it unusual, and then, like, even within the realm of adventure games, it does things a little differently, but it's got, like, this really interesting, sort of charming, like, weirdness to it. I thought that Syberia 2 doesn't do that as well. It takes weird it diverges from what the first game does by nature of its story in a way that I don't think is as effective or fits as well. But it continues the world for the most part, and so, like, is still pretty good. And I think I was mentioning earlier before we really got started that Syberia 2 ends on this weird cliffhanger that really doesn't give you any idea of what Syberia 3 could possibly start with. So since I haven't played these games for you guys before, I do want to run down really quickly. There may be a video recap. The second game had one. I don't know really anything about this game other than it looks like we've changed to a tank control system, which, you know, after Heavy Rain may not be such a great idea. But so, basically, the protagonist of both games so far, and I'm pretty sure this one also, is a woman named Kate Walker, who is a fancy, high-power lawyer from New York. And I think it's supposed to be set in the present day. I believe both games were technically set in the year 2002, because the second game continues directly from the ending of the first. And you go to this weird small town in the Alps known as Valladolid, or really you could just call it like Origarmiton, based on how many different pronunciations there were for the name of the town from the various voice actors of the game. And the town is known for a toy factory that makes automatons of various sizes, which is a fancy way of saying, like, non-sentient, clockwork, robot-like devices of various descriptions. But you're not supposed to call them robots because they get mad, because they're all clockwork and technically different than robots for, you know, various different reasons, for technical definition. And so you are sent to this town to broker a deal and just get the woman who owns the factory to just, like, sign a contract and then sell this toy factory to a company in the US who's interested in the pedigree of the automatons or whatever. But when you get to the town, you realize the woman who owned the factory, like, just recently died, like, during your travels, and like, one of her, like, dying proclamations was that there was actually another heir to the factory, a younger brother who had been presumed dead, but actually sort of went into hiding to avoid their abusive father. And so the first game is all about trying to find that guy, Hans Voralberg, and he is just this, like, weird sort of, like, kind of, like, autistic guy. Like, they generally consider him to be, like, slow and like, unusual, but, like, really he's kind of brilliant, so it's kind of that situation, and he has spent his whole life making all these weird clockwork contraptions that are, like, well beyond what should be possible, including a giant clockwork train and a, like, full-on android engineer, which makes no kind of sense to me. Like, you can't make an artificial intelligence out of gears, but they did. His name was Oscar, and he was a pretty amusing, like, stereotypical robot character. And he runs the train engine and takes you from town to town trying to track down Hans Voralberg by sort of, like, following his path leading from Valladolid to, like, where he is in the current day. And at the end of the game, you find him, and you sort of decide to leave your life in New York behind to help him on his like dying wish of going to find Syberia, spelled with a Y, importantly, because there's a distinction between the Siberian wastelands, which are real, and Syberia, an island where mammoths are purported to exist. Basically, Hans has been obsessed with mammoths all of his life, and so in the second game, you continue the quest, going like deeper and deeper into the weird Russian countryside, trying to reach this sort of ancient tribe that has dedicated themselves to worshiping mammoths and like living off of like mammoth ivory and mammoth meat from frozen mammoths in the wasteland and weird stuff like that. And they have this legend of an ark that gets sent out every 10 years and returns with like fresh mammoth meat, like just encased in ice from its journey through the Arctic. And when you like do finally find this tribe, you find that the ark exists, and you have to like use all of these contraptions that Hans built in anticipation of this journey to sort of set up the ark so that you two can journey to Syberia, discover that it exists, and then call the mammoths. And literally the end of Syberia 2 is that you basically get this giant like mammoth trumpet to work. You call a bunch of mammoths to where you are, and then like Hans rides off into the sunset on the back of a mammoth. And that's it. You get no closure beyond that. You have no idea what Kate's gonna do. Because like Hans is an old man, which I didn't mention. He's like 82 years old, I believe, if I did the math correctly. So he's an old man who's kind of sickly throughout much of the journey of the second game, and you kind of have to deal with that a couple of times. And so basically, this is his dying wish, is that he's expecting that he may not make it at all, but he just wants to see the mammoths in person, and then he basically expects to die. So, like, for him, it's all fine and good to just go out into the middle of nowhere, find these mammoths, and kind of just give up. But it seems really weird that, like, Kate, who is kind of a young woman, now she's just in Syberia and has no plans on what to do next. So that's where the second game leaves off, and I have no idea what the heck that means for the third game, but I'm excited to play it. One regrettable thing about the second game, other than the fact that the story is just weird and doesn't take you to as interesting places as the first one does, is that the character I mentioned, Oscar, who is the mechanical train engineer, he gives up his life so that he can act as a suit of armor for Hans to survive in the cold, which A, doesn't really make a lot of sense, B, is sad because Oscar's a pretty good character, and C, like, really doesn't make any sense because there's a cutscene where you just, like, press a button and, like, Oscar opens up and he's hollow on the inside, and I already have difficulty believing that you could make a clockwork robot that, like, thinks for itself using gears, but if it's just filled with air and nothing else, I have a much harder time believing that that thing exists. So I think that's about as much background as I can give you without boring you to tears. This is Bleach now. Yeah, sort of, kind of. So before we begin, hoping that this doesn't just dump us directly into the game, we have to remember to do some settings adjustments, because we're definitely going to want subtitles on, because there's some weird stuff in these games. And one last thing I'll say before we get started is that for those of you who are also weird animation enthusiasts, you may be pleased to know that Kate Walker, the main character of these games, is voiced by the same person who does Jeremy in the Code Lyoko dub of English. Ooh. And you will definitely hear that if you're familiar with the voice. It's funny and weird, and I love it. Alright, let's get started. Sweet. Options. Controls might be good to know. So, I'm gonna try something like that. Oh no, definitely speakers. Do that, please. Wow, what is this music? Save changes. So there's no subtitles option. They may be on by default. Am I gonna check the controls? I'm gonna check the controls. So now that the music is really kicking up, how well can you guys hear me? Is this a problem? Let me know what you think. His soul is bound to a suit of armor using alchemy. I wish that would make a whole lot more sense than an automaton with no gears inside. So let's see. Accelerate thoughts and dialogue. So skip dialogue is trigger. Inventory is L1. Document inventory is R1. That makes sense. Back is circle. There's contextual buttons for the other ones. That's kind of weird. Movement display objective. Camera. Huh. Okay. Music's pretty loud. Yeah, okay. Music always seems to be the biggest problem. Wow, that is just not... I guess it doesn't do it live? So if I dump it like this far, is it suddenly gonna be like... Wow, that's really annoying. That just doesn't give me any indication of how... Like, there's no comparison I can make between the volume of the music now. I'm gonna put it down at, like... I'm gonna be real conservative with this. Back... No, let's put it here, and then I'm gonna nudge these down a little bit, too. Okay. So, again, it doesn't seem to affect the menu, so we'll get in the game and see if that works. Alright, so now that we've messed with the settings, and we think we have them someplace workable, we're gonna get started for real. On the bright side, it's oh, look at this, difficulty mode. You play for the story and want to have additional visual clues. All the, yeah, do the, like, actual play mode. I will probably be fine. Tutorial messages might be good just because I think they've changed the controls. Yeah, let's do that. Reminders of objectives. No, I don't want that. Dialogue notifications. Type of inventory. With this mode, inventory must be opened manually for you to see the interaction zones. I don't know what that means. Subtitles on, text language English. I just don't know about this inventory thing. Contextual. With this mode, highlighted by default. I'm gonna do manual because that other thing sounds weird. Gotta make this complicated, huh? Learned recently about how bitrate is pretty much demolished by simulating snow confetti. That makes sense. Hopefully there will not be... How do we... Is there not, like, a start? How do we start? How do we start to play the game? I don't think I've ever played any video game where it was not clear how to start the game. And I found one, and it's Syberia 3. Okay. We did it? Currently using custom difficulty settings. Yes. Okay. I think we got there. That was an ordeal. That was our first puzzle trial. It will not be our last. So yeah, I have no, like, I haven't even read like a synopsis of this game. I've seen like exactly enough gameplay to know that Kate Walker still seems to be the main character and that the controls look different, where I think even if you were playing this on a computer, you would still be probably using like WASD or arrow keys to move her around rather than just point and clicking like the original two. See, this doesn't look like Syberia. This looks like the Siberian Wasteland, which again is a weird but important distinction. Because Syberia with a Y was a, like, quasi, like, jungle island? It's weird. Well, that's a fine how do you do. Well, I'm instantly confused. So these are probably Yukuls, which are the tribe of, like, ancient mammoth-worshipping people who are still around today. Yeah, she seemed pretty dead. I mean, the birds seem to indicate, like, nah, she dead. Is music volume okay? Let me know if it's overpowering. We can still try and mess with those settings at some point. What, the monsters, Alcadius? The weird, muppety... I don't know what those are. Those haven't appeared in previous games. I'm also still not clear on whether we're supposed to be on Syberia with a Y or not. It really doesn't look like it. Ooh, stock wolf sound effect. Hey look, she's totally alive, you guys. Yeah, they do kind of look like Dark Crystal things. I agree, Haggis. This music does seem kind of loud. I don't know. It's on pretty low already. And now what is this? What? This is just such like a huge leap in like...
3 months ago, nomads found her dying in northern Syberia. Walker. Kate Walker. Born in New York in the United States.
Voice level seems about
She had
right.
an American passport on her. She showed up at the clinic last week.
She had her passport that whole time?
She's fine.
You're certain, Olga Efimova? You have to keep her there until we arrive.
Okay, A, who talks like
I
that?
will do what it takes.
And
You
B...
can count on me, Colonel.
Colonel who? I don't think we've met a character with an eye patch before. And yeah, this is definitely the most, like, animated, articulated... Like, the other games have kind of crappy graphics because they're kind of old. So, like, you don't get as clear a picture of what Kate Walker looks like, but yeah, I totally see a Lara Croft resemblance and vibe. Uh-huh. Wow, it looks like there is someone missing a leg or something over there. This place looks sketchy, but we should probably be in Russia.
Head.
Hello, Kate Walker.
Ah! Oh. Who are you?
Who are you?
My name is Kirk, Kate Walker. Kirk of the Yukol tribe. Do you remember the Yukols?
Where are we? My memory's all mixed up. There was a terrible blizzard with snow and ice, and then nothing.
That lip sync,
We
though.
are in the clinic of Dr. Zamyatin, in the town of Velsombor.
Of course, just another weird
How
Russian
did I end
town.
up here?
We Yukols migrate with our snow ostriches to the sacred
Snow
lands.
ostriches!
It's a long journey. A very special journey. 1 month ago, we found you dying on a riverbank there in the north.
If she's been
We took
recovering
you
for a
in, and
month
our
and is just
shaman
now
cared
waking
for
up,
you.
she is dang lucky to be
Afterwards,
alive.
We continued our journey. And today, we are both here to finish getting better.
Also, that necklace is new, by the way. That really conspicuous necklace that did not exist before. I think what happened just seems like
What's
a
wrong?
logical...
You lost a leg.
It was an accident, you know. Some people don't like nomads like us. But
Wait,
don't
what?
worry.
That doesn't sound like an accident.
Dr. Zamyatin asked a master craftsman from Velsombor to make me a new leg, and he's going to
Alright.
put it on me when it's ready.
Robot
It will
things
be
sort of
like
exist.
A brand new leg.
Has Hans been here?
Why are you tired?
Kirk will remember this,
bed?
right?
That was the decision of Madame Olga, Dr. Zamyatin's assistant. She says I'm too restless, and it's the only way to make sure I get better. Apparently, it's going to take a long time to make my artificial leg. And in the meantime, my people are without a guide and are waiting for me, with the herd.
Wow, that sounds like a crappy situation for everyone. Yeah, tell me
Why
about the
do
migration.
Yukols make the journey?
My people live in symbiosis with the great snow ostriches, Kate Walker. Their wool protects us from the cold. Their excrement feeds our crops, and their meat feeds us. They are also our mounts and beasts of burden.
That's
So we must
not
follow them
the
wherever they
Yuko's
go.
beast of burden of choice is
And
mammoths.
do they migrate because of
Very
the weather?
important plot point.
No, Kate Walker. They go to the sacred lands to reproduce. It is an event that only occurs a few times per century. For the Yukols, it is rare to be able to boast of having participated in more than 3 migrations during one's lifetime.
Cool. Kirk.
The Yukals I've met didn't speak my language anywhere near as well as you. I'm very impressed.
Robot arms.
From time to
Oh my god, it's
time,
Eternal Sonata.
missionaries and merchants came through our village. I learned very quickly, Kate Walker. It's important if I am to guide my people.
Is it?
I don't mean to be rude, Kirk, but aren't you a bit young for that?
The spirits do not take age into account when they choose a chief for the Yukals. And the spirits are
Why did
very
we change
wise.
like all the things
They do
about
not
the
make
Yukals since the
mistakes
last
when
game?
they choose the one who will guide our people on the sacred migration.
Previously, there was a chief whose name I don't believe you ever learned, and he did not speak English terribly well, as she sort of hinted at. And I don't believe he even looked like this guy. He had a similar sort of build, but all the Yukals are sort of short and stocky. I don't think there are any, like, tall ones. They're all kind of roundish. So, like, I don't know why this guy is claiming to be the chief now, or why the Yukals are like, we don't like mammoths anymore. Now we like snow ostriches. She said her memories were fuzzy. Well, yeah, but, like, he's the one saying things that are inaccurate, not her. Shatner aged weird. Right? That's what I've been
If you don't
thinking.
mind my asking about your leg, what exactly happened to you?
Soldiers bombed the route we were taking with
What?
our caravan.
Yeah, that's not an
For no
accident.
reason. Just to frighten us and force us to turn back. I was a bit too close to the explosion. A piece of rock.
Dang, that's metal, man.
You mean the authorities did it on purpose? But why?
They think that the snow ostrich migration has no place in today's world.
That seems
And that
really
my tribes should
unnecessarily
settle down
petty.
once and for all. But we will never do that, Kate Walker. That would mean defying the spirits. And the Yukals fear the spirits far more than the soldiers.
At least that's an accurate
Well, Kirk,
statement.
I'm delighted to have made your acquaintance. I guess I have to go tell the staff that I'm awake. I feel fine.
Well, it
and I
was
have no
metal,
intention
and then
of
an
hanging
explosion,
around here.
and then a rock.
Of
To be
course,
clear.
Kate Walker. I'm sure someone will be in the yard. Maybe even Madame Olga.
I hear her milkshake brings all the Kates to the yard. Alright. Look around you. Okay. I can talk to him, I think. This is a new sort of symbol. Oh, that's actually cool. So, I guess what it was saying about the context-sensitive whatever is, like, this is a circle showing all the buttons on the gamepad face, and it's in the bottom position like the X button, and it's blue like the X symbol. So, like, that's cool. I like that shortcut. So, are there inventory items? Kate Walker loves to pick up random crap. Those are some unfortunate pants. I am sorry. Don't want to bring attention to that, but I can't not look at that. I feel like there's gotta be something in this room I want, right? No? I've, like, curbed my kleptomaniac tendencies? I'm sure as I recover they will return.
What?
I've forgotten how doors work!
Hello? Is anybody there?
Just a button.
I don't think anybody heard you, Kate Walker. Try using the call button that's located next to the door.
This accent's kind of weird. Oh, no, that's the... No, can I... Oh, choose an interaction. Is it really necessary to press the button again? Actually, that seems somewhat consistent with the old interface.
Nothing. It doesn't work, Kirk.
She's given up so quickly.
Think I
We're
saw
going to
some of
die
the
here,
staff
Kirk.
Using it the other day. Take a good look at the mechanism, Kate Walker.
Look at the
Maybe
mechanism.
you can find a way to get it working again.
One of the things I kind of liked about Siberia's 1 and 2 is that they sort of implied that as Kate continued to work with Hans's weird contraptions, she sort of became an impromptu mechanic and was, like, way better than just, like, random people around her at, like, just solving mechanical problems, which was kind of, like, a cool, subtle thing, like, character development. This game feels like the more puzzle-based segments of Telltale's Walking Dead. Yeah, it definitely seems like they've taken inspiration from the Telltale model, which isn't surprising, as, like, old-school adventures don't really exist anymore since the heyday of Telltale's new model. But it does seem like it's sort of kept to some of its roots in maybe having more of a puzzle grounding to it. So I think I'm into that, depending on how easy it is to do things and whatnot. Isn't it necessary to call her Kate Walker? you will find that for some reason the majority of characters will generally refer to her as Kate Walker. Unless that has changed dramatically from the previous 2 games, where, like, almost everyone almost always called her Kate Walker specifically. Can I... This button. Oh, triangle.
Hold it tight.
So now I need to go find an item. So we've constructed a puzzle with a couple of steps to get you used to the process. That's cool. There's some spicy lag for you. Alright. Did anyone, like, see a screwdriver? Has anyone in this family even seen a chicken? Because I have not. Maybe I have to ask him, like, maybe he knows where it is, but I just want to make sure I haven't missed something obvious. I'm digging the upgraded animation. Like, it feels like the same style, but it also looks a lot nicer.
You should go for a walk in the yard, Kate Walker. That door leads right to it.
Does it? I need a like, screwdriver or, like, a coin or, like, I need an inventory item. Do I have one that I don't know about? I can... Okay, I object. You can... Okay. I find this really annoying. So apparently our necklace is supposed to be Oscar's heart, which they do say in the second game you have to open his heart, and that's the thing that turns him into the suit of armor, as I mentioned. But, again, not only was he hollow when you opened him up, but, like, the heart... It didn't... The heart... Like, the heart mechanism was what, like, caused the thing to open. It shouldn't even still exist. Oh my god. Wait, does this thing have, like, a screwdriver bit on it? Unclear as to why. Sorry, iPad died. No problem, cat. So far, we haven't figured out how to get out of the first room. Everyone, are we playing an adventure game? We are! This is the 3rd in a really long-spanning trilogy of games that I played in, I guess, what I should call my childhood now, because I am an old man of 30 years. Yeah, no one in Kingdom Hearts knows how hearts work. Yeah, that is accurate. Okay, so let's, I guess, try to look at the thing, and then, so if we use our this... Oh. Hey now, what is this? Do the look at it.
This diagram shows how to turn the call button on, but I can't do anything until I can get at the internal mechanism.
Right.
Search the room. I'm sure you'll be able to find something you can use to open it
Are
up.
you telling me that the game wouldn't let me pick up inventory items until it explained that inventory items exist? Because that's going to make me a little mad. Oh my goodness, it sure did that
Nothing
thing.
useful here.
Okay, well, not sure I trust you anymore. I think I'm thinking of Stargate SG-1's Daniel Jackson. I mean, I feel like there's a couple of shows that do that, and some like there are some characters in the Harry Potter universe that like insist on calling him Harry Potter, stuff like that. There we go. Yeah, give me that. Give me that sweet knife
That
action.
should do the trick quite nicely. Now try to use it to see if you can repair the call button.
I really do take some objection to the fact that they're suddenly acting like Kate Walker doesn't know how to, like, mechanic. Because, as I said, that was kind of an important thing about her character development in previous games. First, let me select the... Fine. Here, great. This one. Use the knife on the X. And then... Weird.
Right. Let's see if I can repair the mechanism.
Oh my goodness.
If you're not sure, maybe the diagram you saw earlier might help.
Why would I need a Okay, hold on. Okay, for real now. For real. Is there anyone in chat right now who can hear my voice who would need a diagram to fix this? Is the diagram even remotely necessary to this process? I submit that it is not. As I wait for you to decide if you share my disdain. Allow me to plug in the thing. Ooh, look at look, I can serpentine. Plug. We did it, guys. Oh. Oh. Plug. It's got this interesting sort of thing where, like, you, like, hold the button and, like, manipulate things in space with the left stick. That's different from previous games. You feel like it's necessary to narrow down the location of the green wire. Sure, that's legit, I guess. Use knife on X and then video buffers. Yep. Is the game happening?
Finally.
I can't tell.
Right. Now I just have to find a supervisor.
Well done, Kate Walker. I'm going to have a bit of a rest now.
You've graduated
Please try
from
to come back and
kindergarten
say goodbye
problem
to me
solving.
before you go.
Wait, the call button didn't actually call anyone. It just opened the door? That's kind of weird. It's not Kansas, guys. Oh.
Wow.
There. True to form, Syberia lags really hard when it tries to show you something impressive. I'm actually a little bit happy to see that that is still the case. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. Is that based on the 5D's Rose Dragon? Can you explain what is going on? The short answer is no. The long answer is, I did a recap before, which would probably be too time-consuming to do now. Chat might be able to help you with that. But the very short version is, Kate Walker is an adventurer in the Russian tundra, who, at the start of this game, was, like, unconscious for a long time outside in the snow, kind of presumed dead, but rescued, and after a month recovering has awoken with, like, little recollection of what led her to be
the
here.
ice water in the fountain, Nikita. That'll clear up your damn headaches.
Not his time. This isn't a normal headache. It's like a pile of rusty nails rattling in my skull.
That's cool.
Well,
Talk to this man.
Did you speak to Madame Olga or Dr. Mongoling?
Maybe they're the ones.
I'm not sure I would call that mocking laughter. Oh, let's
Someone
look
should
at
have
whatever
a
that
word
is.
with the maintenance department.
The only thing the doctors
What is
want
it
for
under
us
the
to get
planes?
better.
What's the
We'll
thing
take
that's
a
not
look to the
working?
aviary later. It helps calm you down. It's
Have
even
you
recommended
seen the
when you have
mammoths
nails
too?
in your head.
I
Go tell
have.
the staff. That way maybe they'll believe me. And have you seen any dragons too?
Not except the one that Alcadius is talking about in the chat.
Get your bearings. I understood that you'd be staying with us for a little while yet.
Feels like a really, like, glib and bizarre response to seeing me
So
suddenly
you're
be
finally
awake.
awake. Has Dr. Olga been informed?
No, maybe you should do that since it's your stupid job to work here, dumb bald guy. Look at that sweet walk-in lag. Why will you be chuffed, Haggis? If he wants to nap, that's his business. Unless you have some sort of business arrangement where it is no longer his business. Talk to this man.
I tried to tell them I was a whole lot better. They just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, elevator seems like it's the thing I'm going to do. Hello.
The light, the wind, the heat. I can still feel it all. I dream of it every night.
Sounds like he doesn't like the beach either. Well, that's a bummer. I didn't realize that was going on. Mostly because I'm a terrible person who hasn't joined the Discord for his own chat. Is there a... Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I found the run button and it didn't take us the whole game, guys. As someone was saying that when they played Syberia back in the day, that they hadn't found the run button until very late in the game. And I'm only just now thinking about, it's way more embarrassing not to know that there was a fast travel button in L.A. Noire, which we didn't until like 3 episodes from the end of our like 110 episode
The
run.
elevator to get out. Now, how am I supposed to open it?
Maybe look at the box? Look at the box! Can I really not look at the box? Hang on. Hang on. Can I stab someone?
Not a chance. It doesn't work. Nothing.
Man, she still has just awful voice lines for, like, not being able to do stuff. I think it was the second one where she just, anytime, like, something, like, didn't work right away, she'd be like, this thing's stuck! Anything popular YouTubers never even know about Discords dedicated to them. Really? I've never heard of that happening. Although, I'm also just, like, straight up not on Discord. Can I really not look at the obvious box that obviously controls the obvious elevator?
Get out. Now, how am I supposed to open
I'm
it?
supposed to be able to skip with right trigger. Wasn't that in the controls? I feel like that was... Oh, whoa. Wait. Didn't I... No, it's just the... It just... So, when I press the inventory, it, like...
It doesn't work. That's not right.
Okay, so I guess I need to find an item before it'll let me do anything there. Hey, it's some automaton birds! No, didn't realize I had control. I thought that might be a cutscene, because I couldn't see myself. You
Birds
there.
in the aviary are beautiful. My mother would have absolutely loved them. She loved birds. Always did. Up to the end.
What happened to her? Oh, she was eaten by birds. Terrible tragedy. Try the door. I'm sure it'll work. Is this thing stuck? Oh, she's not even gonna say it. Look at the birds!
Automaton birds?
There was already an automaton bird. Don't act like that's weird. Don't act like you weren't in the other games, lady. Inventory. Knife!
It doesn't work.
I'm just gonna keep trying this knife on things until it works. Okay. So, nothing there for the moment, but I'm sure I will need to come back here for some reason. Doesn't seem like I can interact with what seems like it is probably a door. Clearly a Cthulhu cult. Seems likely. Seems likely. Okay, so I think I've talked to everyone in this room, except those two people who are talking to each other. Was I supposed to gather something from looking at that cutscene of the fountain that, like, lagged the game unbelievably hard?
Dr. Olga, we should perhaps say hello.
Oh, hey, wait, this cart probably has some junk on it, right? No, just the cart. The cart that's like an inventory cart. It has all sorts of things that I might put in my inventory. Fine, can I, like, open someone else's door or something? I don't really see anything around here I can use. Oh, wait, there's some coins. Is that what I need? Do I need some coins? Can I take these pills from this table?
It burns. It still burns, even after all these years.
Don't remember if I checked this cart. Nothing. Cool, there's some weird pollen in the air. Okay, can't
Someone
stab
should have
this.
a word with the maintenance department.
I like that my first item is a knife. I feel like that bodes well. Seriously, can't one of you just talk to the stupid doctor? What's wrong with you idiots? What do they pay you for? They clearly pay you too much. What about this one? That's not Dr. Olga, probably. Don't close the door, he could be sketchy. There's a lot of sketchy people in this weird world. She's got super video game hair, by the way. Wow, does that not look safe?
You're finally awake, number 10.
Oh, I don't trust this guy.
What can I do for you?
Stab! Stab him! Press X to
It
stab!
seems to me that I'm cured. And now I'd like to be on my way.
It's a weird
Given
attitude to
your
have.
condition, that would seem somewhat premature and perhaps even unreasonable, number 10.
I have a name. Eyes up here, buddy.
I am not a number. My name is Kate Walker.
Lord.
I would appreciate it if you would call me by my name, Doctor.
Okay, Kate Walker.
There's a perfect example. That aggression boiling up within you.
Yeah, I don't trust this
I'm
guy.
afraid that it may be a significant traumatic after effect.
So you're refusing to let me leave?
Oh, no, of course not, miss. I have no intention of abusing any of the prerogatives of my position. Nonetheless, first you must submit to a series of tests that
Think
are
I know where
designed
this
to
is going.
demonstrate that you have fully recovered. You understand.
I'll need to
Please,
find
sit
sufficient
down.
collection of inventory items to cheat at all the tests that prove that I'm cured.
On that?
Yes, yes. Don't be afraid.
Afraid is maybe the correct word. Really, it's just obviously unsafe. See, now we're just playing
Don't worry about
Outlast.
these restraints. Merely a simple formality that's part of the protocol that Dr. Olga...
Can I
our
maybe, like, talk to your
supervisor,
supervisor? Sketch McEvil goatee?
Right. I do believe that we can begin. Now, be so kind as to state your first and last names, age, and place of birth, please.
Listen to her thoughts.
I guess it can't hurt to give him that information. Maybe it'll bring this farce to an end, too.
Answer me, please!
If I lie, then it won't...
My name is Kate Walker, I was born in New York, and I'll be 30 this year.
Oh, dang. She old, too!
Good, miss. Up until now, my device would seem to corroborate what you say.
You're using a lie detector?
It's procedure.
Yeah,
Please
lie
stop
detector doesn't
worrying
seem
and
like the
talk to
correct
me
tool
instead
for
of
this
your
job.
friends and family. Are you on good terms with them?
Ha! Not really, no. I'm interested just to hear some more of this thought
If
thing.
I tell him that I fell out with my friends and family, this guy'll see it as some kind of psychological condition. I'd better lie.
Do I need to repeat the question?
So, just as a heads up to you guys, in the first game, you get periodic phone calls even though you're across the ocean from anyone you know. And they establish that you have a
Your
fiance
psychic
and a
troubles
close
would seem to be
friend and
significant
your mom
indeed.
who are all interested in following up with you. And then, because you're gone for so long, your fiance and your friend hook up, ruin your relationship.
It is not rare
And
for
your
a long
mom is,
period
like,
of
mad at
comatose
you
state
for,
to
like,
affect
not
the
coming
vocal
home.
faculty.
And so that's why you're on bad terms with everyone.
No, I cut off with them. I haven't had any news from my mother for weeks. And Dan, my fiancé, left me for my best friend Olivia.
Ex-fiance.
You seem to be basking in this chaos and anarchy, Miss Walker.
It should have showed the lie
Is
detector.
this inclination for disorder connected to this Hans Voralberg and Oscar? You spoke about them at length while you were delirious.
Hans Voralberg was also a full-name type of character. I'm going to Syberia with them. That would be an incorrect statement. Why would you
If I
give me
don't
this
tell him
option?
everything, his lie detector might pick it up.
Answer me, please!
It's really annoying that, like, he just instantly is just impatient. That stuff's
Oscar
really
was an
annoying.
automaton and Hans Voralberg was the person who made him. We became friends, and I went with them on a long journey through Europe. There you have it.
That's not a lie.
To be honest, what I'm interested in, Miss Walker, is that during your travels you were in contact with the Yukol people.
Why would that be of any
The
consequence to you?
nomads who brought you here to Velzembor. In your opinion, what should we fear from such a primitive tribe of savages who understand neither law nor border,
What?
refusing civilization and settlement?
What weird assumption is that we have to fear anything? Neither of these even answers that question, really.
Do I need to repeat the question?
His insidious innuendos are unbearable.
Answer me, please!
Maybe if I go along with him, he'll finally leave me alone.
He does look like Rasputin from the animated Anastasia. You're totally right. So, like, I'm wondering if
beginning
this
to
is...
lose
God, that is
patience.
really annoying. That takes, like, 0 seconds. That's really annoying. I'm wondering if this is one of those, like, this guy will remember that situations. But, like, I'm still gonna say they should be left alone because this guy's a super
Do I need
creeper
to
and I don't like
repeat
him.
I think, Doctor, that the Yukols live in harmony with nature, time, and space. They have no real reason to change the way they live.
Now,
It's
that
not a
is
lie.
an example of typical American idealism. Maybe you should go back to New York right away.
Yeah, great. Let me
I'm
go.
sure your brilliant ideas will be justly appreciated there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying. Just let me go.
Whether I lie to him or tell him the truth, he's not gonna like my answer. so I may as well just keep quiet.
So one thing I'll mention right now
Answer
before he
me, please.
interrupts is that Tech would probably hate this game because the Syberia series is notorious for having subtitles that do not correctly match the things that the characters
Do
say.
I need to repeat the
Which
question?
really bugs him. He really dislikes that. So I'm not going to say anything because it seems like a bad idea to say anything. I don't know why I would.
I see. In a way, your silence is quite answer enough.
Yeah, whatever.
So you intend to continue your journey through our country. A hazardous
I mean, what would my
neither goal
alternative
nor
be?
destination. Pity for a brilliant New York attorney who seemed to have a gleaming future.
That's not for you to decide, Doctor. For the rest, I think I've demonstrated throughout this interview that I present no psychological after effects from my injuries. I would therefore like you to authorize my release now.
Of course, of course. Do calm down, Miss Walker.
I'm sorry, but I'm not used to being interrogated like this.
Usually I do
Some
that to
years
other
ago,
characters.
I would have interrogated you in a very different manner, Miss Walker. I grant that I may still feel some nostalgia for the good old traditional
Wow, that is
methods.
really unsettling. What a creepy guy.
You're one of the very last representatives of a world that is fast disappearing, Miss Walker.
What
A
do you
disordered
mean?
world that no one will miss.
I actually don't know what he's insinuating.
This key is much like you, unstructured and uncontrollable. If you're able
That
to
is
find a
not
way
a
to
key.
use it to leave this floor, then you shall have proved that you are permanently cured.
That is like the weirdest thing I think I've
I'd like to
ever
get my
seen.
things back before I leave.
You will find them there.
I don't know what inventory items to expect to have still. Some documents, maybe? They probably wouldn't be useful in this game, not the way that works. But, like, that is such a weird idea. It's like, well, you're in this sort of sanitarium situation, so if you can solve this unbelievably esoteric puzzle, then I know that you're mentally well enough to leave this place. So here you go. Here is a weird, squid-shaped, questionable, phallic object. Oh, clothes. Square. I mean, you could just pick them up and
Turn
bring them
around.
with you. This is a step up from the last game where, like, she wouldn't dress even if there was, like, no one around. It's kind of weird. Also, it's outerwear, so, like, she's not even changing. Like, what's the problem there? I mean, it's a very adventure game thing to do, but it doesn't make any sense. Which, again, is sort of an adventure game convention, but it's more on the nose than I'm used to adventure games being about how weird they are. Display objectives. What, press in? To how? That didn't do anything. That won't accomplish
You seem
anything.
somewhat upset. Try looking at the birds in the aviary. That should calm you.
Did that seem to cut out weirdly for anyone else, or was that my headphones? Something about walking in this corner really makes the game unhappy about scrolling. I don't know if that is the same way for you. Does this in fact change on this table? Can I have it? No. Well, I don't mind the walking around controls, but trying to, like, look at stuff is sometimes inconvenient. There's gotta be something in this room. So, what's up, chess guys?
Hello.
Okay, good. I thought that was crazy.
And who might you be, miss?
Ugh.
Yeah. Who are we speaking to?
Why does everyone have, like, burned faces?
My name is Kate. Kate Walker.
Kate. Kate Walker. That doesn't sound too local.
Yeah.
He said that
So
word
how
weird.
did you get here, Kate? Kate Walker?
The Yukos brought me here.
The Yukos. They're nothing but chicken thieves. A whole bunch of
Chicken
scumbag
thieves?
morons doing nothing but infesting the streets of Valsambor.
Yeah.
Infesting the
Now they come here to
streets.
do their dirty work.
What is what?
You mean Kirk, I suppose.
For
What?
20
No,
years,
no
we've
one's
been in
talking
this
about Kirk.
clinic, since we got back from Barra North. Listen, this place has always actually been a quality establishment. I don't
Really?
mind admitting. So we were pretty disappointed when we heard that Madame Olga is now letting in those degenerate scumbags from up north.
Yeah,
Come on,
people be
Anton,
pretty
come on.
racist up in this.
Madame Olga knows very well what she's doing. She must have her reasons for letting those midgets in here.
Wow. Just, wow. I mean, wow. But just to be clear, the previous two games both established that the Yukos are an ancient tribe that some people no longer believes existed. So it's really weird that now they're like, for 20 years they've been hanging out in our streets, stealing our jobs and our chickens. Like, what? Yeah, that's 20 years.
So have you really been here for 20 years?
Yeah. At first, we were kept for observation with some of our buddies after that damn mission to, Baranur.
Leon and me, we're almost the last ones still here now. We don't know what happened to the others. Gotta say, some of them were pretty bad. Worse than us. Some guys who got it pretty bad.
I don't think
Fortunately, Madame Olga looks after us right. They look after us nicely here.
Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it.
She looks after us good. She's a real lady, if you want my opinion.
I think someone sped up that voice clip.
Baranur? What's Baranur?
I bet we go there later.
It's a goddamn hellhole.
What are you talking about, Anton?
That's all I have to say about it, Kate.
Might have an
Kate
apiary
Walker.
for aluminum
Can't stir up
pigeons.
the past.
We can't just have them flying around. Honestly, Haggis. Exit?
Can you tell me where the exit is, please?
It's there. But you won't be able to leave until you've had
Really? He was waiting for the camera to pan over there? It's over there.
He's the one who knows if you're cured or not.
But you can't go there yet.
I'll be leaving you then, gentlemen.
Wow. Siberia
See
is
you
still
around,
strong.
Kate Walker.
Yeah. See you around.
So now they're calling you Kate Walker. I'm not sure if that's meant to be self-aware or not. Can I steal more silverware? No? Okay. Okay. Somehow didn't go the way I wanted. So I'm pretty sure my key fits into the elevator-shaped hole. I wonder if I like lie to him and stuff, if I like really can't leave or whatever. I wonder what happens. Is that really that weird? Like, I feel like, I mean, it would be a weird thing to do to, like, someone you know, but, like, I feel like I see that all the time in movies and stuff. Oh, I see. Alright, this looks like it might be a giant pain. Okay, so how do I... Okay. So I have to, Cthulhu. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Probably this? And then... that looks right, I think. And then... yeah? And then... nope, missed one. Okay. Looks like this. And... waiting for this one to hook. Okay. It's gonna be this one. And then... I think that's right. I mean, it looked right. I don't know if I have to stack them differently.
But
What on earth's wrong, Miss Walker?
I don't understand. The key. It didn't work.
I did warn you, you know. You can't be at all well enough yet to deserve to be released already.
I like Are You Kidding? But being confrontational with this really untrustworthy guy.
Answer me, please!
Okay, first off, he didn't move his mouth, and secondly, he didn't ask a question.
But what do I have to do?
Why don't you go back and have a lie down in your room, so you can continue your convalescence?
Quick, kick him in the
Don't look at
shins.
me. I feel fine. You have to let me go.
Impossible, Miss Walker. The rule is very clear. Only those patients who are capable of opening the door may leave this floor.
I'll escape. What a perfectly reasonable thing to say in this situation. That definitely won't get you confined to your quarters forever.
Answer.
Right. Since you won't help me, I want to speak with your superior, Dr. Olga.
You can do that when she comes by to see you for her daily visit. But please don't count on me to disturb her before then.
Oh god, that's so irritating to me. That's a thing that my editors at work sometimes do.
There's a
when they're
problem
like
with the
splicing
key.
scenes.
That's obvious. I need to find out where it comes from.
Sometimes like the animators will like they'll have to like adjust the length of like two scenes next to each other, and they'll like move the end of one voice clip accidentally and create this weird gap so that like there's like a voiceover file where someone would say something like that, where they'll be like, oh, don't count on me to do that before. And it's like, oh god, like just listen to that. You know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. Okay, so I don't have like a regular key, which means I probably still can't get in here. You know, someone told me to go over here.
Automaton birds?
Open my inventory. Can I take a closer look at the key? Do I have any documents? Hang on. R1. Documents? No. Oh, so they're both on the same side. I assumed the R1 side would be on the right.
Impossible.
Jam all the things in the keyhole.
It doesn't work. That's not right. Nothing.
I think it probably wants me to talk to Kirk. Although the game was like telling me to open the inventory. Maybe I'm supposed to like look at this again? So like the problem to me, if there is one.
Else. No way.
Oh, okay, she won't try it in the thing anymore. Because like the problem as I saw it was that it seemed like the like tentacles were like stacking in a way where they wouldn't actually like fit into the thing, even though they were like shaped correctly. But if it won't let me try something else, then I guess I need to like do something physically to the key. Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Kirk. I feel like that's kind of what the game's suggesting. It says like, go in your room and you can talk to Kirk, and most of the other characters are unhelpful. Oh, but he's sleeping.
Kirk? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Kirk, did you die? Let me try stabbing you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wait, can I... Come on. There
This
we go.
knife should make a perfect screwdriver or lever.
Or a lever. Guess we're going to use it as a lever at some point. Let's do this to that. To find the thing of interest.
I already know that everything works here. Let's check the key. These holes. It looks like something's been removed from the key.
But that's not
No
how
doubt
keys
about
work.
it. My key's been deliberately damaged.
But
I need to find a perfect copy if I want to be able to repair it.
But guys, that's not how keys work. Keys are based on shape. Like if I mean, I don't have my keys here. Here's my Apple TV remote. So if I have a key that looks like this, and like this over here is the shape that I need to like put in the lock so I can turn it, it doesn't matter if I cut a hole over here. It just doesn't. That's not how keys work. That's not what keys do. So I guess now I need to find a more better copy of a key, like someone else, like he's got like a key that actually works, or someone else. You have to like wait for someone to use a key. Oh, Krellin, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I didn't notice you before. I don't think I saw you. If you could find a perfect copy, couldn't you just use the perfect copy? Yeah, totally. I mean, maybe you could find like a picture of one, but like, yeah, if you could find a perfect copy, then like, there's no problem. This is clearly not a key, so it doesn't follow common sense. I mean, it's an adventure game key, so you're mostly correct. Okay, so you are also correct in that this is an Eldritch God key. Let's sit in his chair. I'm sure he won't notice or get mad at me for that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh? Do you see something? Where's Swiper? You're waiting a really long time. He's clearly past the window. Also, he was walking the other way before? Just say. This is a franchise that is just, like, rife with continuity errors. Just, you know, for reference. Wow. Is this real life? What is happening, you guys? So, like, if I do this, I bet I have to, like... No, I can't, like, manually open the clasp or whatever? This is weird. Found something. Found a pamphlet or something. Look at the pamphlet. Turn the page. What a weird feature this game has. Oh, there's like a picture of a key in here or something? That's what we're going for? Aha. Can we look at this? No, I can't... It doesn't look like this is emphasizing the thing that I need it to do, though, right? Can I compare it? Is that a thing I can do? Okay. How many cats do we have? I think we have, like, 2?
I see. According to the picture, there's a pin missing. I need to find a way to fix it. But how am I going to manage it?
It's true, there could be cats hiding just out of sight. It's difficult to say for sure. Document? Put it in the document inventory. Oh yeah. Guys, we're doing it. We're playing the feud. Okay. So I don't really think there's anything else I can interact with meaningfully, but I'm just gonna do a pass. Also, he is taking his sweet time looping around that room. Okay. So, where do we think we might find a pin? Do we think it's hidden in the birds? I feel like that's a possibility, but I don't think we've encountered anything that would help us get into the bird room. Hey, maybe he would actually let me go into the bird room if I asked him. I think that's worth doing. Man, look at this guy. Look at this guy walk. Can you believe this guy? Hey, you.
Be reasonable, please, Miss Walker.
Nope, I guess not.
I'm sure that without treatment, in a few months you'll regain all of your faculties, and you'll be able to leave the clinic perfectly cured.
So, I guess we gathered from that cutscene before that was, like, short enough and, like, sort of outside of the scope of what we knew at the time enough that I sort of didn't pay close attention to it. But we did see Dr. Olga actually sort of agreeing to delaying us here. So I guess even if we did get to talk to her, she wouldn't actually help us out, right? Like, I'm gonna watch this again. Is there something I'm supposed to be getting from this that's important? Because it feels like this is weird otherwise. Like, there are some fish, but I don't believe I need a fish. I don't think I'm seeing anything else in the pool that would matter. And frankly, the spinning is making me dizzy and upset. I mean, I don't see anything. I'm supposed to be getting all the hard work. Oh, all the hard work the artist did making the fountain. I mean, sort of. 3 spigots are moving and 1 is not. No, I actually didn't notice that. But, does that actually help me? Even if, like, I can't... So here's the thing, right? I can't... As far as I can tell, there's no way for me to actually interact with the fountain other than to watch it. So it... Like, it'd be one thing if I could, like, walk up to a side and, like, you know, do one of my, like, inventory buttons or whatever and, like, look at it. I'm not sure I could even get to the middle of this side because all these guys with burdens on their face are just hanging out in front of it. But, like, just to, like, prove the point... Is this the one that doesn't work? I still can't interact with it, right? Like, I'm, like, walking along it, and, I mean, I can sort of move the camera a little bit and be obnoxious, but it's not highlighting that at all. So none of the characters have been very helpful. Like, I'm just at a loss because I don't seem to have an item other than the octopus key that, like, does anything presently? None of the characters say anything helpful. Maybe I should go talk to the chess guys again. They seem to want to talk.
The birds in the aviary are beautiful. My mother would have absolutely loved them.
Yeah,
She loved birds. Always did. Up to the end.
Quickly, I must knife the bird.
Automaton birds?
Automaton birds? Murr. Nope, that's not... Just
No
knife
way.
them. Use knife on crazy Russian doctor. Maybe that's the thing I need to do. Maybe if I get close and press the inventory button, but I don't even have, like, a thing that would work with it, right? Like, if I could interact with... If I could interact with the fountain, it would just be to, like, turn a knob on it to make the water go, right? What would that even do? Man, I don't know. Disappointed to be stuck here, but I feel like the signaling of this game is not as clear as past games. This is partially, perhaps, because of the interface change. It's actually kind of weird not to have the signature, like, everything is part of a circle, like, diagram. Alright, so I need to get a pin. Maybe I can, like, ask these guys about the pin or something. Maybe that's an option. Let's talk to them regardless. Sup?
Ah, Kate. Kate Walker. How's it going? You look kind of down.
Well, I had a problem.
Flatulence? Yeah. It's affecting
Bet you went
all
and
of
flunked
Americans.
Dr. Mongoling's test, right? But don't go flipping out over it, Kate Walker. I could never figure out how I was supposed to pass those
I
damn
feel like this
tests
guy
either.
exists just to make Arcadius unhappy.
I did fine in the interview, and he gave me the key to the exit. The problem is, I can't open the door. It doesn't work.
Sometimes things just aren't obvious.
Can I
around
comment on
here.
how weird it is to wear
I
boots
gotta
like
tell
that?
you, Kate Walker. Leon, who was a lot
That seems
sneakier
like
than
a
me.
valid concern.
A few years ago, he got through the interview okay.
They are pretty
and
tall.
also
I wasn't
actually
paying
got
attention.
That damn key from the doctor.
Yeah, but I never got the damn door open. Same as you.
There's something really wrong with this place. That weird interview we have to go through doesn't surprise you? And all of that just to get a key that doesn't open anything?
Dr. Olga told us lots of times,
Huh.
Kate Walker. In this place, talking bad about the protocol is proof you're really sick.
Yeah.
It's also weird to wear that indoors, really.
Doing, and you can really trust her. When we're better, our minds will be able to understand how the key works. You see?
Why did we get a trophy for that? That's weird. I have a weird thought that I don't think is correct. Wait, why is this in my regular inventory? Shouldn't this be in my document inventory? That's weird. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. I was wondering if, like, maybe one of the chess pieces is supposed to slot into it, like a bishop? Because it kind of just looks like a, you know, thin, roundy bit that's vaguely the color of the key. Yeah, let's do a little turn on the catwalk here. Kate Walker is wearing boots that are like 80% of her legs. Maybe more than that. Maybe like 90% of her legs. It's pretty weird. Alright, so those guys are of no help. They just sort of reiterate that they got as far as we did and they don't know what to do. I mean, thigh-high boots, like, look cool, but are definitely impractical. Is there like a setting in which that makes
I really
sense?
tried. I tried to tell them I was a whole lot better. They just wouldn't listen.
Does this game have inventory combining? I don't think the last ones did. Just like, maybe I could like... Hey, wait. If I look at this now, does it have any of those like points of interest on it? Like the other things did? God, I hate the way this rotates. Doesn't look like it. Because I would see like a white dot somewhere. Even though this is really obnoxious to rotate. That's a very good point. Since both these jeans and these boots are super fitted, I feel like it would take you a whole lot of time to get those on. And that dude was like in the room the whole
Someone should
time.
have a word with the maintenance department.
Can I use an item on this? Knife? Octopus? Oscar's heart. She'll need 2 strapping lads to help her take those off. You know, she might be into that, you know? I'm not one to criticize. Hey, let's talk to these guys.
I understood that you'd be staying with us for a little while yet.
She need at
So
least
you're
a
finally
few
awake.
shoehorns.
Has Dr. Olga been informed?
Are we still going here? Is there anything else in the desk? No, it won't let me interact with it. God, I feel dumb. Which means one of two things. Either I'm being dumb, or the solution is so stupid that I, like, wouldn't be able to come up with it. So I pose to you, Twitch chat, is there anything obvious that you believe I'm missing, even if it seems like it may not be actually important? Because I'm currently at a loss, and that is disappointing to me. I really feel like there's the possibility that I'm just missing something in regards to... Okay. Why is this an option? I can't open it anymore? Does that mean I just need a flat paper object? What would I need a flat paper object for? You just check your pockets. What would I need paper for? I'm just gonna talk to this guy again since he's here.
Be reasonable,
Yeah,
please,
nothing.
Miss Walker.
Use knife on
I'm
doctor.
sure
Yeah,
without
I don't think it'll let me do that.
In a few
Let's-
months, you'll regain all of your faculties.
No, just...
And you'll be able to leave the clinic perfectly cured.
I think he's moving too fast for me to knife him. Kate Walker's not a great multitasker. Maybe if I get ahead of him, then open my inventory, then I can stab him. Blam. Use knife on doctor. Knife on doctor! Ah! No, didn't work. Okay, let's try going back to our room, I guess? And can I see anything else here that matters?
Well, what do you know? Damn key doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
Impossible. That's not right. It doesn't work. Let's try something else.
I don't think... It doesn't seem like there's inventory combining, so I don't think I need to just, like, use one of my items on it, which means that I need to find the pin somewhere, but I don't know of anywhere where I could find the pin, right? Agreed, Alcadius. Residents of Fate knives are useless. This one already did a thing. Where would I find a pin? Like, it has to be in some, like, weird place, like locked in the doctor's office or some room I haven't been to yet, but... Goodness.
How are you?
Oh,
Kate?
now I can talk to him.
Is your
That's
departure from the
cool.
clinic imminent?
I'm afraid not.
You seem upset. What's wrong?
I have to use a kind of key to open a door and finally get out of this place. It's a kind of a test, you know? A test that I passed, but the key didn't work. And when I compared it with an original, I saw it had been sabotaged. I'm getting the impression they're trying to keep us here by any means, Kirk. Whether we want to stay or not.
That's a serious accusation. Are you sure?
He didn't call us Kate Walker. I definitely feel like this guy's voice is weird for this character. Kate looks similar enough to her appearance in previous games that I've just sort of become
Don't you have anything
conditioned
to
to it.
say?
Why not just steal the original? Because we don't know where the original is. All we have is a brochure that shows a picture of the key, which is a weird thing to exist anyway.
The proof is building up. First there's that key which doesn't work, and that bed you're trapped in, and your missing prosthesis.
It's true
The
that I've been
he's
very
like the
weak
kid from
since I
Up, that's
began
totally
Madame Olga's
correct.
treatment. But she says that it's normal. She calls it temporary secondary effects.
We really need to get out of here, Kirk.
Unfortunately, I cannot undertake the long migration of the ostriches without the mechanical leg, Kate Walker.
Okay.
But you, on the other hand, you can leave.
But how?
Not really.
Show me the model of the key you told me about.
I'm gonna be really mad if he just, like, opened the inventory. Weird text command. Alright, here we go.
Show me the model of the key instead, please.
Oh, the model? I wanted the actual thing. Have this.
That's what I thought. With this, my tribe smith should be able to repair your key.
But
if, of course, you
if we
find a
could
way
get to him, we wouldn't have a problem, would we?
I doubt they have a postal service here.
Go onto the balcony. Our shaman's messenger is never very far. I use it to communicate with my
Oh my
people.
god, how is this
You
the
can give it
solution to this
key.
problem?
It'll take it to my tribe smith.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Krillin also shares Arcadius' concern. I don't know, I feel like this is a thing that, like, it's not like a normal everyday thing. There was one person in high school that I insisted on doing that with. Like, they just had a name that, like, sounded... It had this really nice ring to it, so I would always call them by their full name. But, like, I feel like there are characters like, oh, now we can go outside? Could we go outside before? I feel like we could not go outside before. There's clearly a barely locked chest over there that probably contains something useful. So, the explanation for that other guy, Krellin, was we introduced ourselves as Kate Walker, and they're like, Kate Walker's a stupid name! And then they've just been addressing us that way ever since.
Kirk's tribe's camp, I guess.
His broom is in the way. I'm helpless. So, like, I have to send them the actual key. Do I also have to send them the, like...
Not a chance.
Knife the
No
bird!
way.
Knife
Let's
the
try
bird!
something else.
Okay, so, like...
Kirk's tribe's camp, I guess.
Can I...
This must be Valsambor, the town Kirk told me about.
Barely looks like a town from here.
That's it. Come on, come here.
So I guess I do that here, right? So I'd be like, hey, here's the thing.
Doesn't work.
Do you want
No
the brochure?
way.
Have to get the bird's attention?
Not a chance.
Throw a knife at it.
Let's try something else.
So what? Wait, did it change my positioning? Because I was on this.
That's not right. Impossible.
I'm gonna be annoyed if this is an interface problem. Okay, so I can't do anything about this broom. The broom is impervious to Kate Walker. He really pretty much said just, like, give it to the bird, right? Maybe I need to, like, talk to him and be like, hey, the bird can't hear me from here.
That's it. Come on, come here.
Alright, let's go talk to him and see if he's got, like, a bird whistle or something.
About that bird, Kirk. I must be doing something wrong. It won't come to me when I call it.
Sounds like a personal problem, Kate Walker.
Is a bit of a lunatic. Have you tried to get it to land on the balcony?
Yes.
No, but I don't see what I can use for that.
Look around the yard, Kate Walker. You may find something that might interest the board.
Why not? I'll give it a shot.
Why does this
Thank
guy,
you for your
like,
help,
have a perfect understanding of the hospital if he's been, like, confined to this, like, not moving wheelchair for ages? Okay, so let's go to the yard, I guess, but... Did I pick up anything from the yard? My inventory is currently brochure, knife, heart, and key. None of those came from here. Can I now suddenly, like, look at these carts of whatever? Or can I pick up that change from that table now? Like, what would be of interest to that bird? If that's a Harfang, the only thing that we know from 2 is that they like to chase, like, lemurs or whatever. Like, snow lemurs. Oh, wait. You weren't here before, right? You're a new guy, I think. Hey, new giant guy. Talk to me.
Anton fell asleep in the middle of the game again.
Does that mean I can have chess piece? Oh, hello there. What? I have lots of questions all of a sudden. Why did we know that he had the key to what I presume is the apiary, or aviary, whatever? Why did we not... Why do we feel comfortable stealing that from him instead of just talking to him? I feel like there's a lot of questions loaded into that question. And this game is already starting to do a thing I really dislike in adventure games, where there's, like, arbitrary gating, where, like, there's no way for you to know that that guy just fell asleep, but, like, you're supposed to know that, and it's really important, and you can't progress without doing it. I mean, that's less egregious than our friend just waking up in our hospital room. Like, that was really bad. But I guess we're doing that now. Well, technically, well, yeah. I mean, they didn't directly give her the knife, but they did leave it in her room, so yeah. I mean, it's true, adventure game protagonists are sociopaths, but, like, we hadn't... Usually, like, there's some point where it's like, well, I guess there's no other choice but to commit murder. This time she's like, well, he fell asleep, so I guess I'll just take his valuables. Like, normally you only do that if you talk to them first and they're like, no, you can't have my valuables! Alright, well, we got a bird. Is everyone proud of me? We did it. Should be here, then. Okay, so let's look at the bird. Observe the bird. Oh, the key.
You just turn the key to activate it.
Okay. Oh. Like, the other bird's gonna be like, oh, the mating call of definitely my species. Thanks, Khan. I appreciate the support. Alright, let's go put the moves on bird with robot bird. That will solve our problems. So you're saying that consent is the only thing standing in the way of whether they give it or not? Kind of? I'm just talking about general cases from adventure games. I'm also not saying this is a thing that you should do. Alright, so we're now at the window, right? So now we're going to look at the bird, we're going to be like inventory, and we're going to be like sexy robot bird. Was there a perch there before? I think this game is messing with me, you guys. But, like, usually in adventure games, the reason that the character will, like, resort to being a sociopath is that at least they were like, hey, I have a very reasonable request, and perhaps I will even compensate you depending on the game and the situation. And usually if the character is just being, like, a jerk about it for no reason, then you're like, well, I guess the only thing to do is to just knock him unconscious and steal his crap. The really bad adventure games are the ones where they're like, I'm just gonna knock this guy out, because, yeah, I don't like his face. Aw, that's sweet, and actually really depressing. Alright, take all of my important items and be gone with you, bird! Actually, I think that there's a very similar puzzle in King's Quest VI, where you use a wind-up nightingale to lure, I think, an actual nightingale to, like, go to you so you can send something to someone else. Wow, it's actually a really similar situation. And, like, it works the same way where it's like, wow, look at that! It's an attractive bird! It's like, why would it... It's clearly just clanging and making awful noises.
The owl flew away with the key, Kirk.
I'm not sure if that's good
That's
yet
good
because I
news,
don't know if
Kid
it's gonna bring it back.
Now we only need...
Kirk,
Don't look at the metronome.
what's wrong?
Don't get hypnotized.
Dr. Olga's treatment.
Ew, 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 no, don't, ew, gross.
Kirk, can you hear me? Wake up.
Come. No need to be alarmed, Miss Walker.
Disagree. Ew. I mean, hi, Olga. Help. Madam Olga, I presume. Yeah, I'm Snark.
You're Dr. Olga, I suppose.
I'm Tony Snark.
We weren't expecting you to awaken for another few days, Miss Walker.
Haven't I
This
been here
is
for like 2
surprising.
months or something?
Truly. If I had known, I would have come by earlier in the day to assist
We tried to
in
get
your
you
return to the world
informed.
of the waking.
Unlike poor Kirk here, I have no need of help. I am very well, thank you.
Fainting is a secondary effect inherent in the treatment, Miss Walker. Nothing more. In medicine, despite any discomfort, protocol must be respected.
You mean that
Not only are the
horrible
voices
bed with
mismatched, I
horrible
do think they're
waiting
worse
for
than the previous
prosthesis
games,
that
which
never
had
comes?
some occasional
That's
problems
protocol?
with it.
And I suppose the same is true for the absurd interrogation I had to go through.
Maybe don't get super obstinate with someone who determines whether or not you
You
can
seem
leave.
to have developed a singular paranoia since you came out of the coma.
Quick, punch her in the
When we
dick!
get the chance, I'll look into it. But for now, I'm going to ask you to please leave. I have to administer the next stage of the treatment to your young
Man, she looks
friend.
scary. Wait, why are we not allowed to be here for the treatment that we've been here for presumably
hear
every
me?
previous occasion?
Did you even understand anything at all that I asked?
I don't like the idea of abandoning Kirk to this witch. But if I stay out of sight, maybe I'll stay out of mind too, and it might be easier to escape.
No reaction when you are spoken to.
That woman doesn't intimidate me. If I ask to be
It's
released,
a trophy for
she
not
can't
being
stop me.
overwhelmed by the game's incessant need to tell you to answer its questions, for God's
Well,
sake.
Miss Walker.
Oh god, the needle did stop animating! That's weird! God, welcome to Syberia, everyone. This is pretty much par for the course. I think that I need to keep going. Like, he's clearly already been under this treatment, so I don't think it's going to make a difference.
I think you're...
Fine, I'm leaving. I hope all this is going to help him.
Well then, I can't imagine why you might think the opposite, Miss Walker.
It'd be really funny if the needle was still floating in the same position. No, that's not how I thought that was going to go.
How is he?
Your young friend is reacting to the treatment very well. Everything is fine. He's resting.
Well,
And no one's shoes will ever be
Goodbye,
heard on that floor again.
I'll come by and see you very soon, Miss Walker. Don't worry.
I'm really expecting her head to just go like full 180. I'll be watching you, Kate Walker. He was. Okay, back in the room, because I get, like, what else would we do, I guess? To the balcony, maybe? Was that supposed to be... Oh, yeah, I think so. Wow, they did that fast. They did that fast, you guys. It's a very Outlasty hospital, right? It's a super Outlasty hospital. Repaired key. We did it. I guess we don't need the brochure anymore. Can I cuddle the bird? Alright, Harfang, you have a nice life. I'm leaving forever. Bye!
Walker.
Kirk,
It's really enunciating now. He does not sound super
how
well.
do you feel?
Not very well, I'm afraid.
This situation can't go on, Kirk. So what can I do to help you get out?
The best thing, Kate Walker, is for you to go alone. And if you really want to help me, once you are outside, go to Valsambor and try to recover my prosthesis from the craftsman. If you bring it back to me, Dr. Zamiatin will put it on, and I will be able to go back to my tribe.
I'm skeptical that we can trust
Can
this
we
person,
trust
but...
Dr. Zamiatin? I'm not so sure when I see what this clinic is like.
The man has always been a friend to the Ukols, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you leave the hospital and find the craftsman in Valsambor.
Okay. I promise to come back as soon as I can with your prosthesis, Kirk. Until then, hang in there.
Thank you, Kate
Okay,
Walker,
nap time.
and may the spirits be with you.
May the force be with you, Kate Walker. Okay, we've been given permission to leave and not look back, so I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing now. I mean, I think we've done everything we can in the hospital anyway, since there's really not much going on here. Other than, like, weird progress gating nonsense. Does anyone want to look at the fountain before we go? I think we should. One last look at the fountain. I mean, she is impressed. Yeah, that one isn't working. It's kind of weird. I see no reason why that would be the case. Alright, let's go to the elevator. As soon as the game remembers that we have control of it. Alright, look at the thing. We have the inventory. Use the repaired key. Hopefully I don't have to do the Cthulhu puzzle again. Screw you, Russian doctors! Ha 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 ha! I mean, I think I would take the key with me if it was me, but sure. I guess we just get in the elevator. Oh yeah, it's a super primitive fountain, I agree. It's all like copper pipes and stuff. With just like the most basic possible plumbing valves. Guys, we did it. We got to our second environment. It's more of the hospital! Okay. So now, according to the law of the hospital, we're supposed to be able to leave unchecked because we were able to succeed at getting out. I have to say, it does feel kind of dumb that they're like, oh man, like, the only trick is you just gotta, like, correctly use the key to open the door. And we're like, well, I guess we have to cheat then. We'll just send the key to someone who, like, makes a cheat part that we're supposed to probably find or something. Turns out I don't read Russian. But, if we keep watching this, we get, look at Kate's figure, I guess. That's something we can do with our time. Okay. Hey, Sweeps McGee. What is up?
For a regular checkup, the doctor's offices are behind the reception area.
Okay. Can I talk to the receptionist? So, wow, look at that person.
Excuse me.
They have like the body of Thanos. Yes? What is happening? She is like a golem. Look at her gigantic, beefy body and her like old woman head. Like, what is going on with this person? Can I talk to Dr. Zadaran?
He's in his office. You'll find it in the small corridor back there. The first door on your left.
Okay.
I would like to leave this clinic. Would you mind telling me where the exit is, please?
Well, usually I'd have told you to go over to the other side of the courtyard to take the funicular that goes down to Valsenborg.
Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic.
But it seems Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic for security reasons. The funicular has been stopped until further orders.
That's cool.
I see.
Like 2 female VAs here. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell me about the clinic, I guess.
Clinic.
Well, my sound's cutting out bad. Do I need to plug this thing in?
It used to be the fortress of the Dukes of Valsenborg, the ancient rampart standing against invasions from the east. The inhabitants of Valsenborg took refuge here and often escaped.
Surprised they didn't just make it into a public school.
Passages.
When did it become
secret
a clinic?
passages, you say?
That was 20 years ago, thanks to Dr. Zamiatine.
20 years ago? So those guys were here at the inception of the clinic?
I'll be going now.
That's kind of weird.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed.
Nope, not doing that. That's a bad idea. You're a bad person.
Think about it. Goodbye.
Nope. Peace. Okay. So I guess we're not leaving that way. If you can only afford to hire 2 VAs, you need to hire, like, John DiMaggio. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know how many voice actors there are in this. It wasn't... There were a couple of repeated voice, like, talent things in previous games, but, like, I don't think they were extremely noticeable unless you're, like, good at, like, picking that stuff out. Like, I generally am. It doesn't really help that the camera angles move around like crazy here. This person's twins or something?
The funicular is out of service until further notice.
Why not have a seat for a bit in the waiting room? It's just near the offices, right behind reception.
Okay. Alright. Now, I'm afraid I have to side with Krillin here. These are two grizzly bears, right? Like, these aren't people. And they both sound like some receptionist at some, like, Hollywood agency or something. Like some tiny little, like, size 0 nothing person.
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. How very delightful to see you up and about. Even if I really have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. Our dear Dr. Olga painted a far darker picture of your current state of health.
Yeah, Olga sucks. Yeah, those are the same grizzly bear, except one has glasses and the other doesn't. She worries me.
I don't want to say anything bad about someone you seem to appreciate, Dr. Zamyatin, but quite frankly, Dr. Efimova worries me.
Ah, and why is that?
She and her associate, Dr. Mangling, put me through a real interrogation. They're also keeping Kirk, the young Yukol, prisoner, attached to his bed. Not to mention the psychological grip she seems to have on everybody here.
Kate Walker's reasonably close. I'm not sure I would expect that voice from that person, but, like, it's not hugely jarring to me.
Is difficult. In such a context, anxiety attacks are very normal. But please, do not project it onto Dr. Olga. I'm not getting any younger, you know, and running this clinic is a very heavy burden. The last few years, Olga has shown she is capable of assisting me. I have every faith in her.
But...
The subject is closed, Miss Walker. Please tell me about that pendant you have around your neck. I must admit I noticed it as soon as you walked in.
Well, it's an anachronism because it shouldn't exist. There was once an Oscar. I think I'm not sure I want to tell him everything because this place is sketchy. But, like, for some reason I can't hear my thoughts on this. I'm going to go with Souvenir because I don't want to, like, be, like, defensive with him, but I also don't want to just tell him everything.
It's a souvenir.
Of a good memory or a bad one?
Yes.
Both
Correct.
at once, really.
Of course. Just like with all memories, right? At any rate, what's currently important for you is to avoid being too haunted.
Now, his lips weren't moving.
Dr. Zamyatin, I promised Kirk I'd go to the craftsman in Valsambor and bring back his mechanical prosthesis. The poor boy has been waiting for it for ages, so I'd like to try to speed up the process. Would you tell me how to get there?
Now there's a truly noble initiative, Miss Walker. I asked my clockmaker friend Simon Steiner to manufacture the young Yukol's mechanical prosthetic leg. He's a capable craftsman and ingenious. You'll find him in his workshop, near the Valsambor port. I imagine he must almost be finished with his work by now. He makes amazing things. You'll see.
Can you authorize my release so that I can see Dr. Steiner? Unfortunately, I've been told that the clinic is in lockdown.
You will have to ask Dr. Olga Walker. She signed the current order to lock our establishment down. She's in charge of giving out the passes.
Use knife on Dr. Olga. Got it. Here's a book you can't read because it looks like it's in Russian.
Any of the questions you may have about our Yukol's friends. Farewell and bon voyage, Miss Walker.
That book is definitely floating. No one is touching the book. Racism. I don't know. The Yukols.
Why did the Yukols ask you to heal Kirk?
On each of their migrations, the Yukol shamans and I have exchanged medical knowledge. Their trance therapy and materia medica have provided astounding results for my patients affected by psychological afflictions. In exchange, I do what I can to take care of those injured that they can't heal using their traditional medicine. Like, that poor boy who lost his leg.
Okay. Tell me more about the migration.
How many ostrich migrations have you seen?
This is the third one. I'm lucky to have seen so many of them. It's a rare spectacle.
He likes his finger.
The great herd of ostriches accompanied by the Yukols. doomed to blindly
Still annoyed by
follow
the
their
ostrich
animals
thing.
wherever they happen
It's
to
like
roam.
brand new information.
And they don't care about countries, wars, and borders.
You seem to like the Yuccals, Dr. Zamiatine.
They are a fascinating people, you know, and such astonishing medicine infused with shamanism. Without which, no doubt, you would have never arrived in this clinic
finger
alive,
again.
Miss Walker.
Racism. How about that?
I get the impression that the Yuccals aren't much liked around here.
Indeed. It would seem that most of the inhabitants of Valsambor are now quite hostile towards them. This wasn't the case a while back, you know. When I was young, the migration of the snow ostriches was an event widely welcomed with open arms in Valsambor.
Why the change in attitude?
Our region was actually somewhat devastated 20 years ago. Dramatic events changed the way people viewed the world. The people turned inward on themselves. They are less welcoming. And the fact that the Yuccals have been stuck here,
Subtitles
next to
broke.
Lake Valsambor for several weeks, hasn't helped.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably.
Wow, okay. Can we talk for a second about that skeleton? That, like... Okay, so we've seen maybe 24 people, probably closer to 16, 18 people, between all the people loitering around and the bears in the hallway and all that. That skeleton cannot possibly belong to a human being in this town. There is no one who is taller than 5 foot even. Maybe Olga, maybe Olga's 5'4" or something. This thing's taller than Kate, and Kate's the tallest person here. That's weird. Also, I agree that it's weird that he can't give me permission to leave. I mean, I get that they're going to be skeptical of someone who they think might have psychological after effects, but he also has zero context of the situation.
Medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature, super collection.
Yeah, but what's the point of using a skeleton that doesn't replicate their physiology, right? What help is that to a doctor? That's my general point. I mean, this is a skeleton that, probably would be fine in the real world. But I'm talking about this town. This town is filled with really short, round people. Oh, did the Soviets outlaw being taller than 6 foot? Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that, but that kind of sounds right. A trophy of his former kills. Doesn't look like there's anything useful in this room. Could talk to the bears again. Let's remember our run button. Does this go anywhere? Whoa, the camera's being ambitious.
I've been waiting for my appointment for hours.
How did he get up here if the funicular's been stopped?
I'm here to see my husband. He's been here months and months.
Sounds like he got off lucky. So that old woman has become one with that bench, and also her hands are way too big. I mean, okay, so let's for just a second talk about our graphics here, right? I have to say that generally speaking, this is definitely a step up from the previous games. The first one in particular was kind of janky with its character models, because it's pretty old, and also I think even at the time they didn't spend a lot of their budget on that, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. I only noticed during that last cutscene how actually weird it is for this series to have close-ups during dialogue. Occasionally they would have the camera change position so you could sort of see both people talking, but it was always at a distance. It was a medium shot at best. You never saw a close-up of someone's face when they were talking, which felt really weird, so it's an improvement to have that now, which is good. Obviously, the lip syncing isn't going to be perfect because this game's native language isn't English, to my understanding. I don't know what it is. It might be French, maybe? I'm not sure. But I'm almost positive this is a European-developed game. So, probably French or maybe German. German companies do a lot of adventure games. I don't remember if this one is. But, like, just there are some weird things with these character models that like, despite these advances that I really do want to credit the game with, they look weird, man. Like, that's a weird old lady. That receptionist is some sort of hulking monstrosity. We definitely have 2 grizzly bears in the hall. Like, I don't know, man. Some weird stuff. Is this
the
her
American
office?
is awake. You must hurry, Colonel.
How is she doing?
Fine, apparently.
Is it French?
She is
kind of
docile
assumed French.
for the moment. This may not last too much longer, I'm afraid.
And what about the tribe of nomads?
Just like the past 2 years, Lake Valsambor hasn't frozen over, so the herd can't cross the ice. They're stuck here. And also, their young guide is still in our...
What the
If
crap?
everything goes as planned, soon the Yukuls will have no choice but to go back home. Especially as I have a plan to speed
Dude,
things
what is
up.
the point of this? What a weird, evil plan.
Fine.
There's also the American detective, Colonel. He should be arriving soon.
The American detective?
Let him meet with Miss Walker if that's what he wants to do.
Wait, really?
No point alarming him just yet. But when all is said and done, we're the ones who are handling the young woman's case. No American is going to come here and tell us what to do.
Hadn't really noticed the computer shape. That is pretty funny. This is a good point, Krillin. Cole Phelps is on the case. So there was a detective in the second game who literally never appeared on screen, who called back to New York to, like, tell your employers that he was, like, looking for you, because they hired him to, like, track you down because your family was threatening to sue. Because they, like, thought you died or something. It's complicated and dumb, and none of it matters. But, like, there was this detective who was a character who, you know, repeatedly gave updates in the second game, and you never saw his face, and you never met him as a character. Like, you just didn't interact with him. So, like, it's kind of remarkable that if they're talking about an American detective, there's a good chance it's that guy. It would also be really weird because he said he was going back to New York at the end of the last game, and I'm not sure how we got here. I don't know how he would have found us. Olga, I've received information that the American is a subversive. She is a hysteric by nature and has gotten it into her head to accompany an old lunatic to some imaginary island. Who sent this? Who knows this? On the way, she has caused a great deal of nuisance for the authorities, and above all, has associated herself with those freeloading Yukuls. It would also seem that Uncle Sam considers her to be of some importance. What? Wait, what? What's going on? This game is super weird, guys. This is a good occasion to get rid of her. When I get to Valsambor, my men will arrest her and deliver her to her country's authorities. Country's authority? What is going on? Okay, so to be clear, this weird, like, espionage thing is brand new. Literally, the first game was like, you are a lawyer. You need to find Hans Voralberg and have him sign a contract. That was the plan. Like, there's some weird stuff where you fix some robots along the way, and you, like, make friends with weird, eccentric characters, but that was the whole game. And then the second game, you're like, well, America's dumb, and I hate it, so I'm just gonna keep riding this train through Russia with an old man and his robot friend until the Yukuls send us to the land where the mammoths live. And that literally happened. And now we just show up here with no memory of exactly how we got here, which I'm relatively fine with, because I could believe that based on all the harsh conditions we've encountered and various, like, it just, I don't know how we're supposed to believe she got back. It doesn't make any sense. But I don't understand why, like, Uncle Sam would want to, like, arrest us or something, or how anyone even, like, knows about, like, the detective might have some idea about Syberia, but he shouldn't have enough information to know specifically what we were doing. And, like, what does it matter to anyone? And, like, why do the Russians suddenly want to kill the Yukuls? That's new. Like, just, I don't understand what's going on. It's new, right? Colonel, I've received the report of the commission concerning the clinic management, and with all the respect of our comrade commissars, I believe that putting Zamiatine to one side on my behalf would be an error. He almost never leaves his office anymore, of course, and he delegates all responsibility to me, but his signature is the one appearing at the bottom of every document, even the ones concerning my experiments. Therefore, I feel that it would be better to let him remain behind the desk. He makes a perfect straw man. Yeah, okay, I buy that. Why could I not? Now pressing X doesn't do anything. It did something before. Use knife on computer. Like, what? Is it? Do I just quit now? Oh no, I just have to... Dr. Epimova, my name is Nick Canton. Yeah, that's the guy. Nick Canton is the detective from the second game. So we're actually gonna meet that a-hole? My name is Nick Canton, and without bragging, I am acknowledged as the best private detective on the east coast of the USA. Yeah, sure. I'm contacting you following a telephone conversation you had with my client, the law firm Marson & Lormont, which is where we used to work. As agreed, I'll be arriving in the next few days to honor the terms of the contract you agreed to with the firm concerning the extradition of Kate Walker. Okay. So maybe it's not literally Uncle Sam, but, like, our firm, like, paid them to keep us here so he could actually track us down, because he couldn't keep up with us last game. One point still bothers me, though. Is it true that Miss Walker has to be arrested by some sort of local militia? During the day, I'd like to have a video conference with you to clarify this point and go over the last few practical details concerning my arrival. Regards, Nick Canton, the finest private investigator on the East Coast. Wow, that guy's a jerk. We're going to enjoy meeting him, I'm sure. There's more urgent business. Come see me later in the boiler room. We have to take care of those nomads. Today, Helmut Helmut.Mangling at Clinic V wrote, Dr. Abramova, in accordance with your recommendations, I subjected patient number 10, that's us, to the standard psychiatric interview. Oh, this is a recent email. Even though at first glance she seemed convincing, the patient nonetheless demonstrated all the symptoms typical of propensity for anarchy so common in her misguided homeland. Okay, but that's not actually a psychological condition, that's just like personality and upbringing. Worse, it turns out she subscribes completely to the cause of the Yukol nomads. It is obvious that she intends to continue agitating our beloved region. So, like, I get why locally they would be hostile toward me if they believed that and they hate the Yukols, but I don't know why they hate the Yukols. It doesn't make sense. I therefore recommend an emergency protocol restricting her movements. Oh, so we triggered that. Okay. An interaction with other patients who might be encouraged to agitate the young nomad. I will have the mechanical bed calibrated for the patient with this in mind. Does that mean he also triggered the hypnosis thing? To be honest, the history has a Russia of attacking people. So it's not that ridiculous. Yeah, it's your favorite type of game. The confused. Yeah, we're doing it. We're playing the feud. By the way, Cthulhu evidence is a squid right there. Now it's true. There's definitely a squid there.
Hello, Miss Efimova. I'm here to see you two. Kate Walker. It really is you.
That's what Nick Canton looks like? That also isn't the voice he had in the previous game.
Mr. Canton, I presume?
Ah, I see that my reputation precedes me. Miss Efimova must have told you I was...
Nah, I just read her emails. I'm kind of scum.
No, I just now learned of your existence, Mr. Canton. A while
Never
ago,
met him.
My employer in New York informed me that he was going to stick a detective on my back.
That happened.
I don't like to boast, but I'm the best detective on the East.
I think it's a ham haggis.
Never a problem with me. I've been asked to bring you back home safe and sound, Miss Walker. I should be in Valsambor in a few hours.
Yeah, maybe I won't be, though. I mean, I do my own thing. I'm a strong, independent-ish woman.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Canton. I'm sure that finding me hasn't been easy.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm afraid this might upset you, but
I
I'm
don't know
not
how he would
planning
have
on
found
going
out
back
that
to the
we're
United
here.
States for the moment, Mr. Canton.
To be honest, you don't really have a choice. The U.S. Justice Department is looking for you.
Why? Please explain why.
Arrest warrant for you, Miss Walker.
What?
The feds are looking for me? But what's the charge? I've done nothing wrong.
Embezzlement! Apparently you took off with a contract for the sale of the clockwork toy factory in Voralberg.
That's really annoying.
And you took advantage of the seller's senility. You're even suspected of being responsible for the death of one of them, a Mr. Hans Voralberg, the last heir authorized.
No one even knows that he's dead.
You represented.
This doesn't make any sense.
You know, Miss Walker.
This is completely ridiculous. And as far as I know, you aren't authorized to represent the Justice Department in this country. You're just a detective. So you'll have to put up with it, Mr. Canton. I'm not going back to New York with you. So leave me alone.
Wait, Miss Walker.
Be reasonable and allow us to arrest you for trumped-up charges. So firstly, Haggis, I totally agree and love your characterization that she's, like, mostly realistic. Half the characters are sort of within reasonable, like, stylized, almost DreamWorks style of character. And then, yeah, some of them are just like Zelda monsters, like moblins or something. Secondly, just to clarify about those charges, it does bother me that at the end of the first game, you do get Hans' signature on a contract, and you do tell the law firm that you have this, so it is reasonable for them to be upset that you have it, but you walk up to a postal plane that's supposed to be flying back to New York City, and, like, it never says one way or the other, but, like, it feels very logical to assume that that plane is going to take the contract back to New York, because, like, it's not like you need to keep the contract to keep doing your mission of just, like, taking Hans to see the mammoths. So, like, that bothers me a little bit, but also, like, they're, like... So if they assume that Hans was alive and that I managed to get his signature on the contract, then it doesn't make any sense for them to assume that he's dead because no one's seen a body. I don't even know if Hans is dead. But if he was, that means that they had to get to Syberia, a land that everyone thinks is fictional. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to assume he's dead without seeing the body. They can't arrest me for that.
All sorts of sedatives and tranquilizers.
So, she took some secret way out of the office, which I'm not sure if we're supposed to find that now or just be aware that it exists. Like, that's suspicious. The suit of armor is suspicious. Painting is also weirdly emphasized. Okay. Oh, this is a... Huh. Wow, there are a lot of levels to whatever this is. So, I'm guessing that these will rotate these. Does it really only rotate that much? That's like nothing. Do I... Oh, hang on, I need to use the other control. What does this do? I see. Well, I should probably move all of these for now. Because I think I need to make a squid on this hilt. That's what I think is going on. Welcome to predictable puzzle solving with Vasco the Gamer. Something like that. Okay. Go down. Eventually I'll get used to this control scheme. It's not right. I don't think. It might be the closest one, but that doesn't look right. Yeah, I guess that's right, because nothing else is closer than that. But, like, it looks like a piece is missing. Oh, no, it's this way, right? Assemble the squid! Ah. So, like, green, blue, teal, red, orange? Green, blue, teal. Green? Are there two different blues? No. So it's just green, blue, blue. Okay, great. See? Predictable puzzle solving. She entered all that stuff really quickly. Well, I guess she knew that the jewel code. So I don't know why she wrote that down. I feel like those buttons are placed weirdly high considering how short most people are. But I guess Olga's the tall one. So I can suspend disbelief for that. It does just seem a little odd, architecturally speaking, for this town of very short Zelda monsters. Oh, we're in a literal crypt now. Look at that. How fun. What is this?
Charming.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Hurry up.
Yes, Dr. Elfimova. I'm doing whatever I can. Get this damn tap open in the end.
Maybe bring a tool down here, tool.
That's it.
Yes, release the poop from the poop tube.
The Yukel scum to strike camp and go back where she came from. Come on, Helmet. Let's not hang about here.
Yes,
wait.
Of course, Dr. Elfimova.
For the Yukels to break camp and go back where she came from? So the collective noun for the Yukels is she? Singular? I'm not really sure how this would immediately affect the Yukels, or why this is okay. So are we like poisoning the water supply, which for some reason we have access to here in the hospital, and then we intend to blame it on the Yukels? Is that the idea?
What a catastrophe.
I mean, it doesn't look good, but at the same time I also don't actually know what that is. Look at that special walking animation that is kind of janky to transition to and from. What's in the box?
Too dangerous without some kind of receptacle underneath.
What do I have? Like nothing, right? I have heart. Wait, I got the pamphlet back? Wait, when did I get the pamphlet back? Didn't I specifically not get the pamphlet when I got the key? How do I have this again? Yeah, we got called from the U.S. detective, and he is basically like, yeah, apparently you're wanted for some light treason. And we're like, well, we're not doing that. Instead, we're gonna go in this secret passage left by Dr. Olga. And we did that, and an elevator took us to the sewers where they're poisoning the water supply. It was an eventful 5 minutes. I mean, maybe I could fill Oscar's heart with it.
No way.
Yeah.
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid? Why? Can I use this ladder? Also, is this a thing? Oh, I can't. What is this? I mean, this is the sort of story that will, like, usually have a real-world comparison somewhere in the world. It just feels relevant because politics are particularly doomsday right now. At least here in the U.S., where most of us are. I would like to raise an objection, wherein we should probably, like, turn all the taps, and most of them aren't interactable.
This thing is stuck.
Wow, they recorded a new voice line of her saying that. It was a really popular line in the previous game. I assume the knife doesn't help. Oh, I can't even... She doesn't even seem to care. Okay, well, I guess we do need a tool. Well, they're definitely doing something serious, Cat. Like, I need to do is find a base to mix with the acid. I mean, sort of, but I think the idea is that this is, like, the water supply. So, like, even if we do that, it might still ruin the water supply.
You've got to be kidding. I have to get rid of this chain. Fast.
Fast? Screw you, fast.
That's not right.
You sure? I think the brochure's gonna do it.
It doesn't work. Not a chance.
Yeah, I figured I'd give knife as lever a shot, but that was definitely a long shot. Yeah, we definitely need... So I feel like we need just, like, a toolbox right now. We need, like, a wrench for these valves, and, like, a bolt cutter, but, like, a really serious bolt cutter. So I don't think I need to check anything else here. What? Kate, what are you doing? Animation break! Just need some caustic soda and muriatic acid? I don't know what that stuff is. But I also haven't played Payday 2. So my concern here is... I'm not sure if I checked over here. My concern is, how are we going to get back upstairs? Actually, how did they get back upstairs without noticing me in the first place? Oh. I found, like, a gas can? Yeah, okay. So I guess I can fill that with the acid for, I don't know, reasons? Let me go try that, but I don't actually know why I would want that. Just so I could show it to... Oh, maybe I could show it to the doctor and be like, hey, Dr. Strawman, like, the basement is filled with icky goop. Please letting me go and save the day. Okay, so here, and then this one, we left thing, and gas can. Boop. There we go. I don't know why the lever has its own interaction point if it does that automatically. Full gas can seems like just like a slight misnomer, if I can be honest. Alright, I think that's everything I need to do in the basement. For now. Clearly I will be coming back here to resolve the rest of this matter. Also, doesn't it look like there's an arrow here? I feel like I should take that. Like, seriously, if this is the only, like, exit point from the sewer, like, how would they have left without, like, seeing me crouch behind that box? Get salt and water, right? But then you have salt water as your drinking supply. I feel like this is still a problem. I can't take the elevator. Okay. Alright. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll be down here solving a puzzle while you all, like, die of thirst. So am I supposed to use whatever this is as a lubricant or something? On this door? Okay. Use it on... Oh, use it on the chain. Maybe? Is acid strong enough for that to be real? That feels ambitious. I'm gonna try it. Where's the point of interaction, please? Use the thing. Well, that seemed important. I guess the only way I'm getting out of here is through a boat. A boat over troubled waters. Time for a cutscene that'll be 90% impressive and have at least one weird graphical error, most likely. I think that's that purple stuff that's the alternative to Sunny D. Well, you know, their blue flavor. Spooky boat music! Now that's what I call spooky boat music, Volume 17. Might want to duck, Kate Walker. Just might want to duck. Okay, sure. Might have been good of her to grab something to use to direct the boat. You know, just in case we have no absolute idea where on earth this cave leads to. Just saying. Kind of surprised this isn't like QuickTime events. Not that the previous games had them, but if we're going like full Telltale, you know. I gotta say, I feel like we're pretty lucky that that worked out. That feels a little unreasonable. That seems a little more like it. There we go, some giant water wheels. Now it feels like Syberia. Also really fortunate that the boat hasn't toppled after, like, falling off of multiple waterfalls. It's a small world. After all, really fell apart. Hey, look, it's some ostriches. Some weird, monstrous snow ostriches. Kat, do you think you would like the ride better if it was like this game? We found the yokels, everybody.
Quickly, or all ostriches lost.
Why?
Miss Catwalk, help, please.
No one ever had trouble saying our name before, even though they didn't speak English. I feel like it's kind of offensive.
Tuk tuk. Bicolet. Miss Catwalk. Senvenu tuk 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 tuk. Menimir Buruth.
Uh-huh. Okay, what though? So just to be clear, again, we've spoken to many members of the Yukol culture before.
Buruth, look after ostriches. Same if Miss Catwalk speak or leave alone.
So don't let them drink the water.
I wanted to warn you. Your ostriches mustn't drink the river water. It's important. They can get really sick.
Buruth still find way to keep some. But snow ostriches always want and need much water. Or they get very sick too.
Try to hold them back as long as possible. There must be a way to filter the river water.
Unganemuk. But Miss Catwalk, go quickly.
Miss Kate Walker.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh my god, is this the spirit woman?
You remember me, Miss Kate Walker. Me, ayahuasca. Great Yukol shaman. Me go there and find you somewhere there in the world of the spirits.
So you're the one I owe my life to, Madame Ayahuasca. It's you who cared for me before taking me to the doctors in the Valsambor clinic. I don't know how I can ever thank you.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, Haggis. There's something really weird going on with these character models.
Right up there. Since she traveled long time in magic world, spirits now her friends. They will show her the right path.
Very well. If you say that the spirits are going to give me a hand, I'll try to do that.
Try to do what? Okay. But yeah, I think I cut myself off a little bit there, but like, we've talked to a bunch of Yukols, and they know my friggin' name is Kate Walker, because a bunch of characters in the last game wouldn't stop calling me Kate Walker, again by my full name. And, yeah, it seems kind of problematic that all of a sudden their weird stylized speech patterns prevent them from being like people.
Overwhelmed here soon. I have to help them quickly.
Hi, Serpentine. You sort of made it. We're probably going to be wrapping up soon. I'm terribly sorry. It's Homo floresiensis? What does that represent? I'm unfamiliar with the reference you are attempting. Oh wow, look at that running into me glitching. Is there anyone I can talk to that I haven't already talked to? What about these blokes?
Miss Kate Walker must now quick go upriver.
You.
Ostriches maybe die poisoned?
This voice acting is all over the place.
Miss Catwalk must do something. Quick!
It's not even that their culture makes sounds that make saying Kate Walker difficult. They're saying most of the name. Why are they being weird about it? Homo floresiensis are the real-world hobbits? Is that a thing? I don't think I'm familiar with that. Must go upstream quickly. Okay. Feels very snowy in Syberia here. That's nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the spirit world, if you want to show me the way, now's the time.
Okay. Something about the water wheels? If I stop the water wheels, do I stop the water?
Just had to ask, I guess.
Do I save the cheerleaders and the world? Indonesian islanders who are just over 1 meter tall. Wow, that is short. Use public transit. Ugh, I'm sorry, Serpentine. That is not usually ideal.
Measuring the water flow from the dam.
Why is there only one really narrow green sliver? And why can I not look at what is clearly a diagram that they've, like, created for the sole purpose of me referencing it?
I have to find a way to use this dam to filter the diesel. I have to try.
Oh. I think I get it. I don't know this one. Oh, right. Weird, like, actually turning controls. Is that helpful or unhelpful? I can't... I'm not totally sure I know what I'm going for. Also, when I set the lever, it doesn't stay in position. Oh, there we go. For some reason, it wasn't letting me do that at first. That's almost green. That's like really close to green. Hang on. So the bottom one is sewage and the top one is garbage. I only sort of understand this. But so, I mean, is this closed? Looked like it wasn't closed. Or rather, it looked like it was closed because it looked like I could open it. I mean, I don't know why I would want this. Again, that looks really close to being green. Okay, so one thing I'm unclear on is they were like, oh, we want to like have this filter out the gross stuff. Well, like, the gross stuff is here, the bottom one, isn't it? Isn't it? Doesn't look like it's showing it anymore. So someone dumped some, like, poison into the water, and we're trying to use some, like, non-science to have a dam filter out the poison, and all we have to go on is this diagram that's not, like, totally helpful. Like, what it seems like it wants... Well, let me try something. Can I, like, partially, like... Can I leave it like that? Seems like no. Seems like I cannot do that. But, like, just for the sake of... Good lord. Oh no, that was actually correct. That was actually correct. I was supposed to partially open one of them so that it wouldn't overshoot the green thing. Okay, figured it out. Yeah, I want less green, but it wasn't clear that... The controls are a little bit wonky for that. It's kind of hard to explain, but, like, it doesn't make it clear that the game is okay with you, like, partially turning something and leaving it that way. Everyone here is using purple text. Well, I can't tell that
the
because
water is clean now.
PlayStation.
Who knows how much damage has already been done?
Okay, great. Water is wet. Woo! Let's run back to camp and see if we are friends with the Yukols.
Thank you for saving Great Herd.
Who would do that to the Yukols?
Everyone. Everyone seems to hate you.
Get well perform miracles. Mwak.
I feel like I like the Yukols a lot less now. Mostly because of bad voice directing choices. Are these supposed to be Yukis? Because they're really horrifying now compared to the previous game, where they were mostly, like, adorable but, like, dim-witted seal creatures. Okay, where's, like, what's-her-face? I want to talk to the important lady. Is it you?
Thank you for saving
No.
Great Herd.
She had a hat. I don't know where she went. Everyone's sort of wearing the same outfit, with, like, marginally different character models. What product is
Who would do that to the Yukols?
claiming to make water wetter? And to what purpose do they think this is beneficial?
Thank you for saving Great Herd.
Nice
First
counter,
not
Neko.
Come back here. Now all water poisoned. Not good signs.
Bairtla, Miss Ketwal.
Pretty sure I came over here before, but whatever.
Thanks you and spirits. Ostriches saved.
Sort of, we
Careful
did
all
it,
the
kind
same,
of.
Mr. Barut. The dam filtering the water may not hold very long.
Sa. Yukols leave here fast to make sure Ostrich is safe. But not possible without Kirk. Him our guide.
Show me how to get
I
to
just came
town.
from the clinic.
Get him a leg.
Kirk and I shared a room.
I will shake a leg.
Sa. How going, Kirk?
Like, not super good. I'm gonna reassure them because they're probably already panicking enough. They're already talking about bad signs from the spirits. Whoop. I can't hear my thoughts.
He's fine. Don't worry, Mr. Barut.
Took. So why him not come back with you?
It's taking a while to finish his artificial leg.
That is what they're telling us.
No, Kirk. Yukols cannot leave here. So ostriches want
No,
to
I understand that.
journey
Just tell me where
without
town
Yukols.
is.
Can't keep ostriches here very long. Ostriches cross Lake Valsambor alone. And then eaten by lake spirits. Took.
Why do these ostriches
The
exist?
ostriches crossing the lake, so that has to be a part of the migration?
Tuk Tuk. Baranur, on other side of lake, is path of sacred plains. Ostriches lay eggs in hot sand on sacred plains. But
Hot
lake,
sand?
not
It's
anymore
snowing
frozen,
outside.
So, not be able cross.
Listen, Mr. Barut, do your best to calm your ostriches while I
Yeah,
go to
there's
Valsambor.
snow ostriches.
I
There's
promised
some
Kirk to
sort
go
of
get his
prehistoric
prosthesis and bring
monstrosity
it
that
back
we're
to
just
him.
supposed to accept exists
Bartla,
now.
Bartla, Tuk. Miss Ketwalk, you friend of Yukols.
I'm going to speak with the shaman now.
Ayahuasca will be very happy. See Miss Ketwalk. She go with you and around you a lot in world of spirits, so they free you. You not die because of her.
That's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, here's the do it. Go inside. Cutscene. 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 Is it necessary to have a broken couple of frames of her trying to walk? Wow, this place looks really busy. I was sort of expecting this just to be the hut of the lady, but I mean, I guess we needed some sort of cage forged for the baskets on the back of the giant ostriches. Yeah, why not? Okay, well, I was thinking we might just be able to power through a cutscene and call it there, but since this looks like an environment with, like, a lot of things to do, I think this is probably where I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Ooh, sorry, I guess. So, we did it, guys. We managed to start understanding how the new interface works. We escaped from the hospital. We saved the giant fictional birds from drinking poisoned water. And now we're on the hunt for a robotic leg, because that's just what we do. I'll have to watch out for the CIA, though, I guess, and Nick Canton, who doesn't sound or look anything like I expected. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching and coming out. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to try and post this series to YouTube. I don't think there's a lot of coverage for this in English, so maybe people will find this interesting. If you want to watch future parts, because I think, unless you guys really strongly disagree, I think I will probably be streaming more of this. So you can catch me... I'm going to say that I'm going to do this series only on Saturdays to just keep things a little simpler. I know my schedule's been fluctuating a little bit lately. So I'm going to say, if I happen to be streaming on a Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, you can find me over at twitch.tv/VascoDaGamer. And I'd really like to play through more of this if you guys are interested. So come check me out. Check out the Renegade Constabulary on YouTube. And thanks again for coming out. Hope you guys had a good time. And we will experience more Syberia 3 in the future. Until then, have a great time! Woo!